Welcome to the Daily AI News Digest.
Good morning. It's Tuesday, March 31st, 2026. Let's get right to what's moving the AI industry today. Here's what we're tracking. Finland is making a bold play to become an AI superpower. We've got a new report showing a massive crisis of confidence in the C-suite over AI. OpenAI is making a huge billion-dollar pivot away from a fan favorite, and we'll break down the copper wall, a hard physical limit that's forcing the entire industry to change.
Our top story today is all about the physical foundation of AI. You know, the money isn't just going into code anymore. It's being poured into concrete, steel, and massive power grids at a scale we've just never seen before.
And the biggest headline is coming out of Northern Europe. The AI cloud company Nebius just announced it's building a 310-megawatt AI factory in Finland. Now, this isn't just another data center. People are calling it a sovereign compute fortress. The whole point is to give Europe technological independence, and they're loading it up with NVIDIA's brand new Vera Rubin chips. It's a huge strategic move to control the actual physical hardware of intelligence.
And this isn't an isolated event. At the exact same time, Databricks is betting big on the UK, pouring $850 million into quadrupling its London operations. Their focus is on something they call their lake base. It's a database built from the ground up for AI agents to actually use a company's internal data. It really shows you where the value is shifting. It's all about the infrastructure that makes AI work in the real world for businesses.
So when you step back, what you're seeing is a full-blown global arms race. You've got Nebius in Finland focused on sovereign compute, Databricks in London trying to democratize enterprise data, and then you have NVIDIA making this colossal $4 billion bet on a new tech called Photonics. We are seeing a historic amount of capital flowing into the physical side of the AI economy.
But here's the twist. While these giants are building at a breakneck pace, a new report out today shows a deep sense of anxiety inside the very companies that are supposed to be using all this new tech.
Yeah, according to this new report from Coupa, there is a massive gap between ambition and reality. While almost all chief financial officers say AI is critical to their strategy, a jaw-dropping 92% are worried their own organization can't actually pull it off. I mean, look at that. Only 8% are confident. That's a huge drop in confidence from just a year ago.
So what's the problem? Well, the report calls it the data chasm, and here's the brutal truth. Only 5% of companies can get to their own spending data instantly in one place. You can have the smartest AI model in the world, but if it can't get to clean, usable data, it's basically starving. It just can't deliver. And this isn't some abstract problem. It has real costs. The report found that CFOs are wasting, on average, 26 hours every single month on manual data tasks. That's more than 3 full workdays spent on the exact kind of grunt work AI was promised to eliminate. It just shows you how big the disconnect is between the hype and the reality on the ground.
And all this pressure to deliver real value is causing a major shakeup at the top AI labs. They're being forced to make some pretty ruthless decisions, and they're dealing with some really damaging leaks that are redrawing the competitive map.
The biggest news is from OpenAI. They've confirmed today they are shutting down Sora, their incredibly popular video generation model. The problem? Sora was burning through about $1 million a day in compute costs with no clear way to make that money back. So they're taking all of that computing power and pouring it into a new model, codenamed Spud, which is all about economic and coding utility. It's a pretty clear signal that the era of expensive, creative science projects is over.
At the same time, OpenAI's biggest rival, Anthropic, is in full-on damage control mode. The company has had to officially confirm a massive leak that exposed details of its next big model, which is called Claude Mythos, and in their own leaked internal documents, they describe this model as a step change in capability.
Now, the most alarming thing about Mythos is this feature called recursive self-fixing. So what does that mean? It means the AI can look at its own code, find security holes, and then write and apply the patches, all by itself. This news absolutely hammered cybersecurity stocks like CrowdStrike. They dropped as much as 11%, because the market is realizing this could automate the work of entire security teams or give hackers the weapon of a lifetime.
And this table really gives you a snapshot of where the frontier is heading. You can see a really clear trend here. The top models are specializing. Anthropic's Mythos is going after security and reasoning. OpenAI's Spud is focused on pure economic output. And Google's Gemini 3 is doubling down on scientific rigor. The race for one general superintelligence is fragmenting into a race for specific, defensible skills.
Okay, so for our final story, let's zoom out to the foundational layers that are now running the whole industry, the hard limits of physics and the new rulebook being written by the government.
It turns out the industry is slamming into a wall that no amount of clever software can fix. It's called the copper wall. Simply put, it's the point where old-school copper wires just can't move data fast enough for these modern AI data centers. When you're trying to connect hundreds of thousands of GPUs, the signal just breaks down. Physics says no.
And the main company trying to solve this is, of course, NVIDIA. They've made what's being called a physics-forced investment of $4 billion into silicon photonics. This tech basically replaces copper wires with beams of light, letting data move way faster and more efficiently. It's a fundamental change to how data centers are built, and it's not really a choice, it's a necessity.
And on the policy side, the Trump administration just dropped its National AI Policy Framework. It's basically trying to create one single light-touch set of rules for the whole country, overriding all the different state laws. The big priorities are ensuring energy dominance to power all these data centers, a promise to protect regular people from skyrocketing electricity bills, and an interesting proposal for a system to pay creators when their work is used to train AI.
So, what does this all add up to? Well, all the news today points to a really clear and decisive shift for the entire AI sector.
Here's the key takeaway. The speculative, fun, experimental phase of AI, it's over. One market analyst put it perfectly today, saying, the AI bubble hasn't burst. It has simply evolved into a brick-and-mortar reality where the winners are those who can provide the most intelligence per watt.
We're past the point of just being wowed by what AI can do. The game now is about industrial scale. It's about physical infrastructure, and it's about cold, hard economics. And that leaves us with the one question that will define the next decade. The question isn't what can AI do anymore. It's who can afford to build the world it runs on.
That's the Daily AI News Digest, sponsored by bestai.org. We'll be back tomorrow to help you navigate the intelligence revolution.